This is Dave Rogie. I'm here this morning with the new high school basketball coach, varsity basketball coach for the boys of Chelan High School, Mr. Pearl. Mr. Pearl has been an assistant for the last couple of years, and this year he's the man. So tell us how you feeling about that.
Well, thanks, Dave. I'm actually thrilled to have this opportunity. Like you mentioned, I've been part of Chelan basketball the last 6 years or so. Had a great time working with students, younger student athletes, working with the JV, the freshmen, and just working alongside a Hall of Fame coach like Joe Harris. I was able to just really absorb a lot of what it takes to be a head basketball coach. So I'm very excited, looking forward to it. One cool thing is, I already know the kids that I'll be coaching. I've had a chance to build those relationships, be it at the freshman level or JV. So it's kind of cool. I'd like to hit the ground running right away. We have some things put in place for June, tournaments and camp and such. So for us, we're not going to change a whole lot. We're going to get in the gym as often as we can and just try to get better each day. So that's kind of what our goal is.
It's got to help too, knowing and being around the campus now. I get to hear a lot from the kids, and we talk about things. Obviously, they are extremely supportive of you being selected the new coach. That's got to kind of help you in terms of where you want to go with things, I would think.
Sure. Well, it makes me feel good, and I think anytime you coach kids, you have to kind of find that mutual respect, and we talk about that at the beginning of our season. And I'm a big, you got to give it to get it, So, and I think we get that both ways with the kids that I've coached, and once you've kind of found that platform of respect, you can you can challenge the kids. They know you're coming from a place of care, and at the same time, they know while I might be getting after them a little bit, I'll be the first one who has their back when it comes down to it. And that's something that really I took from Joe. I'm a Joe Harris product, so a lot of that stuff I saw, just kind of Coach Harris do, and it seemed to work well for him, and I'm not going to reinvent anything, so to speak.
You mentioned some of the things that you've seen Joe Harris do, and indeed Joe was a superior coach, no question. But one of the things that it seemed like Joe did was, and you've kind of touched on it, I think, a little bit, and that is kind of always got your back. And with Joe, it was like a fraternity. It seemed like once you were on board, once you were in his program, you were with him forever.
Yep.
Do you see that as being a thing you want to be able to carry through with?
Absolutely. You're in until we tell you you're out, kind of a thing. Because, and what a lot of people don't see that wouldn't come into practice, see behind the scenes, is the hard work, the dedication, the effort that these kids put forth. And then us as coaches, we take our time to prepare. But really, we have a really great group of hardworking kids. And, essentially what I'd like to do is just, recognize not only their talent, but their work ethic. And I think, we might not always be the most talented team out there, but the things that we can control would be things like our effort and our attitude. And those are things that right off the bat we'll start talking about right away, because you can't control the way officials are going to call a game, can't control your environment on the road, but you can definitely control how hard you're playing. And as a coach, I can control how good of shape my kids are in too. So if we're not the best team out there, by God, we could be the best conditioned team.
Yeah, but you're going to be in it through the fourth quarter.
No question.
Let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned nothing's really going to change. You've kind of learned under Joe's the current system that's there. But what about like offenses and defenses? Are there things that you've learned through your...
Well, let me go back to say nothing's going to change, because I think we're going to keep the fundamental principles of what I'd like to do is not going to change. We're going to share the basketball, period. We're a team that's going to share the basketball. We're going to hang our hat on defense, okay? It's going to start for us on the defensive end. A lot of our practices are defensive-focused practices, because I've been around the game long enough to know how important that is. And then communication, and I think with communication, there's always room to grow there. Even these last 6 years that I've been with Joe, each team, we see room for improvement. It's just a matter of getting the guys to buy in and talking and that kind of stuff. Now, could there be a little tweak offensively here and there? Certainly, yeah. And as a matter of fact, I have a chance to go to some different coaching clinics throughout the year. You kind of pick up something here and there. Coach Neighbors from Washington State or UW women's head coach just made it to the Final Four. He's got great stuff. He's always willing to share. We had Coach Seton Soboleski and Coach Cody Butler. Seton is from Idaho State and Cody is from Boise State. They just have an arsenal of great plays, quick hitters, sets. And I think one thing as coaches, just like teachers, is we share, we collaborate, and we, depending on the strengths of your team, you kind of custom maybe what you want to run based on what you have. So I'm someone who likes to learn. I'm a lifelong learner. I want to, look at what the strengths of my team would be, and then just kind of game plan accordingly. So.
A lot of times kids will come and say, well, if they play the game or if they've played the game, then, they've got something they can say and I can hear it. But if they haven't, then I don't really want to listen to it because they don't know what they're talking about. What is your background besides the 6 years that you're talking about? What other background do you have in basketball?
So I grew up around the game basketball. I grew up in Wenatchee, Washington, and started playing AAU basketball in the 4th grade, and had a successful sort of school and AAU career in Wenatchee. Played for some very good basketball teams at Wenatchee High School. Played in the Big Nine. Earned all-league honors while I was in the Big Nine. And then went on to play college basketball. So I played at Wenatchee Valley College. And I think just, again, growing, I was kind of a basketball junkie, so to speak. I loved just watching games on TV. I loved going to games live. I loved going to the gym. I tried to be the first one in, last one out, and just being around the game that long, as I've gotten older, I see things that I didn't necessarily see when I was a player. But I feel like I have a good feeling of what I want to do, and I'm very confident in my knowledge of the game too. So I don't think there's a situation that's come up since I've been coaching with Joe that I haven't felt prepared for or anything like that. But I just love the game of basketball, and I've had some great coaches too along the way that's really kind of helped me through high school and my college days too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, obviously it's not Mr. Pearl anymore. It's Coach. You know how that goes. You get around, all of a sudden, even though you've coached for 6 years, now all of a sudden you're coach because it's like the varsity, And so we just want to wish you the best of luck.
Oh, thank you.
Obviously, we've got some stuff going on that we're doing these days with videos and things like that where we'd hope to get a chance to come in and sit down and visit with you from time to time and share that through the blog. And as we progress further in what we're doing with this kind of program and club that we have started, is to get to the point where we can start showing people away from the outside people more of the inside, such as streaming basketball games and maybe even coming and talking to some of the players as working with you as the coach on timing and those kinds of things. It's important to me, and I think just to share with you where I come from and what I'm doing, I love being around sports, period. I played football. I got an education because of that, and I love just being around sports, and I love being around the kids and watching and learning and hopefully contributing when I can. So, I like to share the kids with the community. I think it's important that people see there's more to them than just being a basketball player or a football player, but they're a student. They have dreams. They want to go on to college. They want to do different things. And so using this medium gives me the chance to share that.
Yeah.
And we're looking at exploring that and opening that up even wider in the future through live streaming of sports and stuff.
No question. That's fantastic. With as technology gets better, there's all these things.
Sure.
And I think I have some great student athletes that are part of Chelan basketball from top to bottom that are just great ambassadors for our program and great ambassadors for our community. And I think the more we can show what great kids they are through social media or what have you, I think that's a really great thing, and it builds community. So
that's great. Yeah. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on getting the appointment.
Thank you.
I know that you'll do a super job. I've known you for a couple of years now. I've gotten to know you a little better each time. I'm confident that they are going to continue to move in a direction that keeps Chelan at the top when you talk about sports. We may not always win every game, but people always know we're going to be there.
Oh, we're gonna compete, you
And
bet.
it's been, so it's nice to hear that Chelan pride is going to continue to be there and grow. And the idea, you know what they say, sometimes change is a good thing. Joe spent 20-some years giving his heart and soul, and now
Yep.
he's kind of passed his
I'm
baby
inheriting
off.
a
so-
tradition of excellence, really, but the culture that he has created here really just lays my foundation as a coach to build off. And you have new coaches that are being hired. You never know who was there before. Well, I know who was here, and you all you have to do is look up on the wall in their gym to know that he created just a tradition of excellence here. So I'd like to just continue with that. I don't know if I'm going to get to 520 some wins and make it in the Hall of Fame, but by gosh, I'm going to be taking it a game at a time and just trying my hardest.
And that's what you got to do. Coach, thanks so very much again. And this again is Dave Rogie here with the Lake Chelan Sports Blog, and I'm here with Coach Pearl, the new varsity head basketball coach for the Chelan Goats. So go Goats!
Excellent. Go Goats. Thanks, Coach.